you give that to?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna speak on number 6 about the attorney that's gonna represent
So as we began, Brazos County Commissioners Court. The Commissioners Court of Brazos County will meet in regular session on June 10, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners Court of the Brazos County Administration Building, Room 200 South, Texas Avenue, Suite 106, Bryan, Texas. The public may watch the meeting live on Brazos County Commissioners Court YouTube. And so we also have Commissioner Nettles on what is it?
Zoom.
Zoom. And so Commissioner Nettles, we will begin with invocation and pledge allegiance, and the invocation will be given by Commissioner Nettles.
Thank you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, we give thanks today for being here, being able to be your servant, ask for your wisdom in making decisions that affect this county and our constituents. We ask you to open our minds to listen to those who speak before us so we may value all opinions and pray that we serve you in your names, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
So before we begin with the Citizens Input Group, I'd like to have Allison, our Attorney, Assistant General Counsel, speak, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Good morning, Commissioners, citizens of Brazos County. My name is Allison Lemblade. I'm an Assistant General Counsel, Brazos County, work with Mr. Brazos. I'd like to take a few minutes this morning to talk about the Brazos County Commissioners Court's rules of procedure, conduct, and decorum. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Because the Brazos County Commissioners Court is a constitutional court, respectful decorum should be exercised at all times. The court provides open access for the public to address issues of county government, but the court also must maintain the order and decorum necessary to conduct county business. In order to preserve the respectful decorum of the court, no person should speak unless recognized by the court to do so by the court's presiding officer. A member of the public may be recognized by the presiding officer to speak during the public comment portion once they have signed the public participant sign-up sheet. Public speakers are allowed 4 minutes to speak, either during the public comment section or on a specific agenda item, at the end of which they must stop speaking and leave the podium. The court is unable to respond to questions during public comment portion unless they need to correct factual inaccuracies. During agenda items, speakers also have 4 minutes to address their questions and concerns to the court, and then they must be seated. The court may choose to respond to these questions or not. The speakers will not be allowed to stay at the podium for a deliberation period with the court. If any speaker has additional questions after their statement is given, members of the court may be individually contacted to answer questions, and their contact information can be found on the county website. The Brazos County Commissioners Court does not provide a public forum for the purpose of demeaning any individual or group. Neither is it the intention of the court to allow members of the public to insult the honesty or integrity of the court, any member of the court, or employees of the county. Additionally, in order to preserve order and respectful decorum of the court, vocal or physical outbursts, including speaking out, profanity, applauding, will not be tolerated. The court's rules of procedure, conduct, and decorum may also be found on the county's website. There's also a portion of the rules printed at the each of every agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we will proceed now at item number 2, call for citizens' input and concerns. First speaker is Mr. Patrick Giamalva. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Hello, Fred, Chuck, Wanda, thank you for the town hall meeting. And thank, Councilman Harrington. I've been trying to get the city of Bryan to do more town hall meetings, councilman in the city of Bryan. We have a severe problem with the city of Bryan not getting any citizen input. Throughout the years, they have made what I call bad business deals and losing millions of dollars. We have the defunct Schulman Theater right now that they have evidently gone bankrupt. I have tried for years to clean up the old Arsenic Lake and restore the 100-year-old golf course that they decided to close down. They're dragging their feet on everything. They never finish anything. And the citizen input is very important. Look at all these citizens here that are here to speak about the outer loop. Progress is good, but sometimes when you have progress, you take many, many things away, the old ways, the peace and the quiet of the country. There's nothing wrong with economic development and redevelopment, but when you go into our parklands and you close our parks down and you call it economic development or redevelopment, it's not right. It's not right. We have a way of doing things nowadays, especially the government. We did it legal and made it right. Well, just because you did it legal, don't make it right. Sometimes it's wrong. Most of the time it is wrong. And we need to change things, and we have good people like y'all that works very hard and listens to the people. And I appreciate y'all letting me speak. I just wanted to say how thank y'all for what y'all do. And I want to thank the citizens here that show up to speak to y'all and the concern we have with our county and our city. Thank y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Karen Ponder. Karen.
Good morning, County Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Karen Ponder, and I have been a resident of Brazos County since 2018 when my husband and I built a home on the far east side of the county. We were both born and raised in Harris County and then have been landowners in Grimes, Montgomery, and now Brazos for the last 20 years. Side note, my father was a civil engineer for Metro in Houston, so I have a unique perspective on what is happening here in Brazos County. Not only as a former Houstonian, but as a well-traveled Texan who travels outside the county every single day for my job in sales, I cover half the state of Texas, which means I am in every one cow town to every major metropolitan area south of Round Rock, from the Sabine to the Rio Grande. In my company, I have the largest territory, putting an average 1,000 miles a week on my car. So you can say I've seen every community in this state and driven their roads. Not once have I ever thought that what BCS needs is a loop. My father was involved in the loops around Houston, from 610 South to Beltway 8, and even the Grand Parkway were in his scope. As someone who travels these loops in Houston, Austin, and San Antonio, I have never once looked at the decay that is found inside all of these loops and wish that for our community here. We have all seen the very informative video from TxDOT shared recently regarding the upcoming improvements of Highway 6 that will no doubt improve the traffic in BCS. I use the term traffic loosely in this conversation because we do not have a traffic problem here. 610 South on any given day at any given time is gridlocked. We have a short time frame in the morning and evenings on 6 where community members are trying to get to and from work and travelers are just passing through our community. I remember when Texas was Highway 6, and I remember when the bypass was built to correct that problem. 6 home games a year does not warrant bulldozing family homes and ranches for us that nobody wants. An hour of congestion in the morning and afternoon does not warrant providing easy access to dishonest people to come into our community and allow them quick access back to Houston. No one wants to see commercial development in eastern Brazos County replacing our pastures and woods, forcing our ranchers and wildlife out of our area. My home is home to a herd of white-tailed does that have fawns in my backyard every single year. We currently have 6. That is the allure of BCS, the ability to have a balanced country and urban life without giving up anything. Now, I never just stand and complain. I always present a solution. There is already a road that can serve as a loop on the east side of 6. Highway 30 and FM 158 already provide that relief on our community. Put in over or underpasses to keep traffic moving at intersections. Fix the intersection at Highway 30 and 158 in Harvey and Elmo Whedon, please. Widen 30 and 158 in Harvey. Stop spending millions of the citizens' dollars for a road the citizens don't want. Improve what is already here. Fix the flooding on Elmo Whedon, Grasper, and Old Reliance around Wixon Creek. And please don't Harris County or Brazos County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nick Filipello?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the time. I am appearing here as opposed to this new loop you're trying to put in here, and not because it affects my property. I've been a resident of Brazos County all my life. I've lived on the corner of FM 2223 and Tabor Road since 1948. I don't think, I would be erroneous to say this loop is not going to affect me. It is going to affect me and every resident in this county. However, after attending a meeting at Alexander Church a couple of weeks ago, I took away 2 things from that meeting. Number one, that there may not be enough funding to build a road, and it may be started out with just 2 lanes, although the full easement will be acquired. And the number 2 thing, the firm that you hired to do the preliminary studies was conducting a meeting, and they took a lot of flack, which I think was not a good idea on part of the commissioners and the judge. Someone from this court should have been there to answer those questions that were proposed to them. And as I told the firm at the meeting, I stood up and told them, I said, I think you're getting paid way too much for what you're doing on this study, but you're not getting paid enough to put up with what you're putting up with here. Now, all that being said, I've traveled around the state of Texas and Louisiana the past 15, 20 years as my kids have moved around the state, and I go see them. And in Louisiana, I've been seeing the signs on Highway 90, proposed route of Interstate 44, which I believe is going to connect New Orleans to Texarkana. I have a son in Corpus Christi, and going down there, I see signs for the last 9 years says proposed Interstate 69, connecting Laredo to Houston, I believe is what that plan is. And I noticed in the news here the other day that the federal funding has been dropped from this high-speed rail from Houston to Dallas, which tells me there's not a lot of federal money around. And from what I understand, you're awaiting funding from the state, and maybe if you put it on a priority basis, just that and the other. I have another suggestion. Maybe the county and the Metropolitan Transit Authority, or whatever they're called, and the state and the feds could get together and work together and do this proposed Interstate 12 that's coming through Bryan. As I understand it, it's going to connect Midland with Texarkana, and it's going to be a loop around Bryan on the east side, extending all the way to 30 to have a branch to Huntsville for that, which would pretty well tie up about 2/3 of a new east loop. So instead of proceeding with this thing that a lot of these people oppose and I oppose. Maybe ought to rethink, regroup, work with the state and the feds, and let's get something done with this I-12 where we'll only have one loop around Bryan, and hopefully it'll be far enough out that it won't affect so many homes and so many areas and businesses maybe. And with the cooperation of the state, the feds, and if the county has got to cooperate, fine. It should be a cheaper deal. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beverly Greenwood.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I will be reading a letter for David and Gail Hayden of 6300 Cole Lane of College Station. We are physically unable to attend this meeting. David is 77 and was born and raised here. I, Gail, have lived here since I was 4 years old. We will have been married 59 years in December. Our home is our life, and by our home, I mean our ranch. We have worked hard to hold on to our ranch land and to raise cattle. We have faced many challenges during these years. We have fought high taxes. We were forced to allow a pipeline that benefits Houstonians through our ranch. We fought against the proposed Cole Lane sewer plant that will be located predominantly in the floodplain land that is surrounded by our ranch, a plant that will discharge millions of gallons of wastewater into a creek that crosses our entire ranch. Now, as seniors, we face politicians who want to cut our ranch into pieces to accommodate an unnecessary roadway. This road will jeopardize our way of life and our cattle movement since we have an intensive grazing program, possibly demolishing our working pens, hay barn, equipment sheds, and even our home of 45 years. Problems caused by any of the alignments presented include cutting off access to water sources for our cattle, as well as access to feed and working pens, destruction of the wildlife habitat, access to our divided properties with this monstrous roadway, peace and quiet lost to both noise and pollution, and increased taxes, just to name a few. We will no longer sit on our porch to watch the cattle graze or deer run through the meadows. Our view will be a wasteland of unused roadway and wasted tax dollars. The river otters that live here will leave. The black panther we see on occasion will be forced to find a new habitat. Why they even want to destroy our pond, where we fish and where our cattle and wildlife water. No consideration for all of our life's work and sacrifices to improve this ranch. And for what? Who does this benefit? Certainly not the folks that you represent. We vote every election. We helped to elect you all sitting on this commission. We supported your visions and expected you to protect our way of life in this rural community and to work with our best interest at heart. We are sorely disappointed by your actions. You have the power to cancel Quiddity's contract and drop this whole agenda. You have a moral responsibility to listen to your constituents and to do what is right. Put aside your embarrassment. Do what you know is right and get this whole project off the table. If it is needed, and in our opinion that's a big if, then present it openly, honestly, and with appropriate documentation. The bond program list wasn't transparent and the ballot wording was vague. The Bible says, pride goeth before the fall. Swallow your pride, admit this process was not done with appropriate openness and visibility, and shut it down. We thank you for listening and pray for your heart to be in the right place, notwithstanding personal agendas that are being served or forced on you through political pressure. Respectfully, David James and Margaret Gail Boyd Hayden.
Thank you. Cindy Wiley.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Back in October 2023, our own Dr. Dougherty presented a 25-minute workshop here in this room. Dr. D, as we address him, is a senior lecturer emeritus at TAMU in Computer Science and Engineering Department, a master's and a doctor's degree from Harvard, has published 26 research articles from over $2.8 million in funded research projects, has taught for 37 years, with 32 being at TAMU, including AI, quantum computing, programming and software design, and cyber ethics, a life member of America Mensa. He has and continues to address concerns regarding electronic voting system vulnerabilities, and he has been an expert witness in many lawsuits regarding the same. He has given his time freely and without compensation to update and inform this body of its actions regarding the use of these electronic voting systems. He's been vindicated by virtue of President Trump's Executive Order 14248, signed March 25, 2025. This body's unwillingness to have a second workshop with our Dr. D for the benefit of the people to make an informed assessment of the way Brazos County votes could indicate that a bias exists. This body cannot be a true purveyor of information if it limits itself to promote only one side. No Ink software, which we use, is being exposed for critical deficiencies, including allowing backdated voter registrations, and in its product information reveals that election workers can override election results. Pennsylvania and Oregon each signed over a $10 million contract. Pennsylvania has canceled theirs, and Oregon has issued a stop order. Regarding Executive Order 14248, recertification of electronic voting systems per VVSG 2.0 is mandated for use in federal elections. Department of Homeland Security, along with the Election Assistance Commission, will report on all malicious software and unauthorized intrusions. Our Secretary of State has identified 33 non-citizens who voted November 2024 using the SAVE database. Our Attorney General has arrested Frio County and Pearsall officials regarding a vote harvesting scheme. County Judge, former election administrator, 2 city council members, and an ISD trustee. Approximately 1 year ago, I reported on a lawsuit filed by Dr. Laura Presley, whereby she revealed that the countywide voting program has the potential to violate ballot secrecy. Her team matched ballots to voters. I forewarned that this revolution has massive consequences. 2 months later, at convention in San Antonio, the GOP chair had his ballot choices of the primary revealed. Candidate Colin Allred ballot choices were revealed as well, along with many others. Per the Texas Election Code, Section 122.001, a voting system cannot be used in Texas unless it preserves the secrecy of the ballot and it produces auditable records. Redactions prevent auditability. I remind you that citizen oversight in our elections is paramount per Article 6, Section 4 of the Texas Constitution in order to preserve the purity of the ballot box. It is necessary to detect and punish fraud. Romans 13:10, love does no wrong to a neighbor, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law. Thank you.
Thank you. Russ Ford.
Commissioners Court, citizens, staff, good morning. I'm going to, for the record, my name is Russ Ford. I am the chairman of the Republican Party of Brazos County, also a past county commissioner. I would like to speak on 2 issues today. The first is on behalf of the Republican Party. What I'd like to ask the court, a citizen, whenever I sat on the court and we were talking about budget and tax rates, came and gave us a really cute story about his mother and her grocery shopping. That story was told to us in an effort to ask us to raise taxes, to not pursue a no new revenue tax rate. The Republican Party, our values, and myself are asking, as you begin the budget cycle in just a month or so, please strive towards a no new revenue rate here. We're asking your help, and we'll continue to support you through the budget process, but we're going to come and ask you, please give us as low a tax rate as the county can continue its services with. My second issue is actually in regard to most of this group that's speaking to you today. Whenever I was running the last time for county commissioner, my opponent sat in a forum out at Texas A&M University and told me that he did not understand roads, particularly county roads, and asked me, would I be willing to help him? So I'm offering my assistance again to my commissioner, but what I'm going to tell you is this group is asking for an advocate. They are here fighting for their homes and their ranches. That's the only reason they're here. They're not here to act ugly to you or to cause you any issue. But what I'm going to tell you is, as county commissioners, you represent them. They're the people that are going to vote for you in the next election. And if you choose to not listen to what they're saying, I assure you it's going to be a really tough election cycle. So my point being, if you have questions about county roads, Brazos County has always strived to not use eminent domain, to not take people's houses. A part of the reason that I supported the bond program that we're talking about right now was an effort to give Brazos County a seat at the table, and we start drawing lines on paper with crayons, as I've heard the alignment for this East Loop is, draw that line somewhere where it doesn't take people's houses and people's ranches, or look for other alternatives. But what I'm telling you is, you've got to know something about roads to be conversant, but you can advocate for these people. You can stand up and be counted and tell them that you will not support any alignment that's going to take people's homes and people's ranches, that you're going to look for other alternatives, and then look for other county commissioners that will work with you. I know of one for sure that is on record as saying that he does not support using eminent domain for the alignment for the East Loop. So I'm asking that you three, as commissioners that are here, and also Commissioner Nettles, work together. But somebody stand up and say, we are not going to take your houses. This room would very likely be empty if you'll just say that one thing and then strive towards that issue. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Candace Lyon, excuse me.
Good morning. My name is Candace Lyden, maiden name Peters. We've all heard the phrase, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's a warning echoed through generations, and unfortunately, it rings all too true in the world of politics. Most people don't enter public service to get rich or become famous. Many start with pure intentions. They want to help their communities, create change, and fix what's broken. They've seen injustice, they've felt the weight of broken systems, and they believe they can do better. And in that moment, when they step into the political arena, they are full of hope and integrity. But something happens along the way. Suddenly, they're surrounded by lobbyists, by constant campaigning, by advisors telling them not what's right, but what polls better. They have to raise money to keep their seat. They make small compromises, just one vote here, one deal there, to get things done. They stop listening to the people who put them in office and start listening to the people who keep them in power. And little by little, they change. It's rarely one big dramatic moment. It's gradual, it's subtle. They tell themselves they still believe in the same values, but their actions start to say otherwise. The person who once stood on principle now stands for re-election. The person who once stood up to special interests now shakes their hands behind closed doors. And worst of all, they stop realizing it. They become insulated in a world where compromise is currency, where image is everything, and where doing the right thing often means losing the next election. So instead of speaking truth, they speak carefully. Instead of leading with conviction, they lead with caution. And somewhere in that long road from candidate to career politician, they forget who they were. This isn't to say every politician loses their way. Some resist the pressure. Some hold on to their integrity with both hands, but the system doesn't make it easy for them, and that's the point. The system should serve the people, not change the people who serve in it. We as citizens have a role in this too. We need to stop rewarding sound bites over substance, party loyalty over principle, and charisma over character. We need to expect more from our leaders and also protect those who try to do right in a system that punishes honesty. Because if we want to see better leadership, we have to create an environment where good people can stay good people. I encourage you to take a deep look into the reason that you became involved in public service or politics and ask yourself, am I still doing this for the right reasons? Before I go, I want to leave you with these words from a country song. You've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. You've got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. Never compromise what's right and uphold your family name. You've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Thank you.
Deanne Bullock Crane.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
My name is Deanne Crane. Thank you, Court, for letting me speak. Why build the Inner East Loop so close to Highway 6? Instead, maintain and improve our and expand our existing roads. County government thinks this is the answer. It's not. This loop does not improve traffic for the Brazos County residents. This loop serves no one in the Brazos County. This loop is a bypass that bypasses an existing bypass. The land that will be taken from families that have had this land for hundreds of years, both of my neighbors have a stake in this. They have been here as long as my grandparents, my great-grandparents have been here. I have uncles and aunts and relatives and all in this area that houses and lands will be compromised because of this. No one will drive from William Fitch and go all the way around to 2818 to get into the inner city of Bryan College Station. Precinct 2, Chuck Conderla, please, we ask for you to hold a town hall meeting to address this with the people that voted you into this position. Thank you.
Thank you. Ray Arrington. Councilman Arrington.
Good morning, Court. I'm Ray Arrington, City Council member for Single Member District 2 here in Bryan, Texas. And I wanted to get up, maybe I could shed some light, uplift some things. I wanted to thank the Commissioners Court and the Commissioners, the Sheriff's Department for our town hall meeting that we had on Saturday. It was outstanding, I think, and I've heard from different people that we had the best turnout that we've had even for HOA. So Commissioner Watson, she was there, she spearheaded, and I want to thank her for it. And I even brought her a T-shirt. I don't know if I can I just hand it to you? Yes, sir. Commissioner, I want to let you know now, the size on that T-shirt, as an old man, I'm an old man, and you ain't supposed to guess that. You're just supposed to give it to them and tell them you can exchange it.
Thank you.
But I want to thank you all for coming out. The sheriff came out. We had some great presentation. A lot of questions were answered, and some of them about the loop. And I can really commend Commissioner Watson. She was there with a presentation, and it was fantastic. If you missed it, I always tell them at the meeting, you don't know because you didn't go. That was my thing, and we're having it again with the joint venture with the city, the county, and the state in September. And Commissioner will be there, and we want to invite everybody to come out, and we really did enjoy you, and thank you for your participation. And I gave them all a challenge token. Chuck, you didn't get yours, sir, but you got one. But our challenge that I present when I gave it to them was for the city, the county, and the state is a challenge for them to work together again. It was from the city of Bryan. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Cassidy Crenshaw? Chastity, is it Chastity? Okay, sorry.
Good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name is Chastity Crenshaw, maiden name Peters. I stand before you not just as a concerned citizen, but as someone who believes in the integrity, history, and future of Brazos County. I rise in strong opposition to the proposed Inner East Loop, and I ask each of you to truly listen, not as commissioners or officials, but as neighbors and stewards of this land that we all share. Let's begin with a little local history. The Peters family, including Judge Peters' ancestors, settled in Brazos County approximately 29 years after it was officially established. For generations, the Peters family has represented what makes our county strong: hard work, honesty, and unwavering service to our community. It's a legacy many of us share, of families who've poured their hearts into this county for decades, not for profit, but out of pride and principle. Now we're being asked to consider a major infrastructure project, the Inner East Loop, based not on need, but on studies that frankly offer no solid proof. Where is the data showing true necessity? Where is the transparency? And where is the accountability? These studies are empty, and so far, they haven't proven anything except that someone has a plan. But a plan isn't a solution if it doesn't solve a problem, and this one doesn't. Let's talk about real need. Highway 6 continues to need expansion, and our focus should be on maintaining and improving what we already have. Look around. Drive down Texas Avenue and South College. What do you see? Rundown buildings, empty storefronts, for sale and for lease signs on nearly every corner. In fact, there are currently over 200 vacant industrial, business, and/or land specialty properties in the Brazos County, in Bryan College Station. So why build new when we haven't cared for what's already here? Why build new roadways that will take away exposure to these vacant buildings that we could fill when we already have worse, and worse, add new vacant buildings? Listen to your community's input. Do you recall the debacle that was the median installation? That project was pushed through without proper community input, and the result? Havoc, confusion, and most importantly, danger to your citizens. Our first responders struggle to reach those in need because of poorly planned medians that turned access into obstacle courses. That's not progress, that's regression. Now they're considering ripping medians out and rebuilding roadways. What a waste of tax dollars. And had the community been involved in the decision making, we likely wouldn't be doing this in the first place. So I ask you, since when did commissioners start working for themselves instead of the people who elected them? And when did backroom plans take priority over community voices? It's time to put your adult pants on, contribute some sweat equity, walk the neighborhoods, talk to the business owners, sit in the living rooms of the residents who you claim to represent. Engage with us, not as politicians, but as public servants. Be honest. This community deserves better. Don't dishonor your legacy or ours by pushing a project that serves private interest while the public pays the price. Don't line your pockets while leaving the community behind. This is your chance to do what's right. Stand with us, stand for us. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our citizens' input. Thank you all. We will now move to item number 3 on the agenda. Use your space. Item number 3, approval requested by Brazos County Emergency Services District Number 4 for a 30-day extension to be no longer than July 1st, 2025 for submission of the annual financial audit report.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Item number 4 is being pulled from the agenda. The submitting department is requesting some additional information be provided, so we will move on to item number 5, approval of the following job description, Expo Center for B0848 Clerk 3.
Move for approval.
So the item is not,
Well, I guess I'll second it, but I have some serious questions about this. I'll second it.
okay. It has been moved and second that we approve the following job description for the Expo Center All in discussion?
Discussion. I think Fred wants
Discussion?
to discuss.
Yes, ma'am. Is this asking for an additional employee? Who can answer that? Good morning.
No, it's just changing some of the verbiage in the job description itself. It's not asking for an additional employee.
Oh, okay, good. That was my only question.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further,
She got off easy.
any further discussion? Vote, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 6, Order 25-022 to retrain and acquire the legal counsel and the professional services of the law firm Germer PLLC for representation in case number 4-25-CV-01625 in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas.
And just by way of explanation, we have a gentleman in the Brazos County Detention Center who has filed a pro se action in the Southern District Federal District Court in Houston, alleging that he's being wrongfully held. He's being held under a parole warrant, a blue warrant, and also has new charges. But he has filed this lawsuit in Federal District Court, not actually, I guess, against Sheriff Dickey, but Sheriff Dickey's in charge of the detention center. And so he's asking the federal court to order Sheriff Dickey to order him to be released, and that'll be up to the
And
federal
so this is
court,
the
but-
approval for us to hire an attorney to resolve this issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Why isn't our DA handling this case?
It's in the Southern District of Texas. You have to be certified, and it's really not time effective to handle a federal case from Brazos County. You got 2 hours back and forth each day, but this is something normally we hire outside counsel, so you get somebody looking at it from a different point of view. I don't see any issues in this particular case, but it's better to have somebody outside take a look at litigation when we get into it.
I'd feel better about it if it wasn't an attorney that's related to TAC, Texas Association of Counties. That's
He
my-
He's
has
not
been
TAC.
appointed by TAC for other matters for us before, and he's always done an excellent job. The firm has always done an excellent job.
Okay.
Okay. So did we make a motion? Was it moved?
Move for approval.
Second. I
Second.
think yes, I motion.
Right. So I guess we've had our discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
And so,
I believe we had a citizen that wanted to speak on
Oh.
number 6.
excuse me, we did, thank you. Cindy Wiley?
Thank you. You pretty much asked my question, Commissioner Brown. I was asking why our district attorney, our local attorney, was not handling this case, since it seems fairly simple. And I do have paperwork, but I do have a question, because it appears that he already, Larry Simmons, I believe, is the attorney. He already has been hired. So my ask would be, can you confirm that or not?
The attorney to represent the sheriff? Please. Bruce?
Now, the purpose of this action this morning is to retain them to represent us in this particular federal lawsuit.
Thank you, no. Thank you for that. So we'll move to a motion.
So we have a motion and a
Move to
second.
approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
So discussion, further discussion? None? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none, we'll move forward. Thank you for that. Item number 7, approval of first amended economic development agreement between Brazos County and Fuji Biotechnology of Texas LLC. This amendment represents an additional $30 million investment in the Brazos Bryan College Station Bio Corridor.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, there was a sticky note. Once approved, okay. So, any discussion? Hearing none? No, so we have a speaker? Once approved. Oh, I'm sorry. Kathy. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for the town hall, by the way. I know it's not the agenda topic. On this item, I remember Fujifilm getting, I remember the conversation about the abatement on the property. And then they failed to meet the requirements of that abatement, and now they're coming back and re-establishing, I guess, their presence in the community. Is that correct? So my question is that abatement going to continue under the old contract? Is there going to be an abatement offered on this property with the new contract? And if it's with the old one, does the abatement pick up where it left off when it was originally offered in 2022? Or does it begin with this new addition of investment in 2025?
Okay.
I don't remember a conversation about the abatement.
Bruce, can you, if this is a new, can you address this, whether this is a new oh, she's on the, okay, she'll have to sit down for that, for the discussion. Did you have some additional
I
questions?
still have 3 minutes. Okay, so the new rules, I heard spoken this morning in court, and I'm hoping to see that voted on next week on next agenda. Thank you.
Okay.
Again, my name is Allison Lemblade, Assistant General Counsel. First off, I just want to clarify it's not an abatement. Under the specific 381 section, it's not an abatement. It's a different kind of tax incentive, which is listed in the agreement. This is actually just an extension of the contract. It's just has extended the time out a little bit in consideration for an additional $30 million investment. Yeah, I think that, hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. With that information and the feedback, it has been there's been a motion and a second to approve.
Can
yes.
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we would be foolish to not approve this for one reason. This is a big enough company that they wouldn't mind moving the whole thing to, was it South Carolina or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. You know, it would be nothing for them to move. And we have everything to gain on this. So we shouldn't look at this as something that's terrible for our community, because it is good for our community. These people pay taxes. The people that are employed here pay taxes. It's a win-win situation for the county. It's a win-win situation for both cities.
Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Item number 8.
Commissioner?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah Gaskill with Fuji.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Good morning, and welcome to Commissioners Court.
Hello and good morning, County Commissioners. My name is Sarah Gaskill. I serve as Head of External Relations for Fujifilm Biotechnologies. I am delighted to introduce you to Keita Hirabayashi. Keita-san, please stand.
Stand up, please.
Keita is our site head for Fujifilm Biotechnologies Texas, and we are truly pleased to be here with you all today. On behalf of our leadership at Fujifilm Biotechnologies, please allow us to express our sincere appreciation to our county commissioners, Judge Peters, County Manager Leslie Contreras, Chief of Staff Ed Bull, Economic Development Director Kimberly Roach, county staff, and our partners at the Greater Brazos Partnership for your support and dedication to existing industry. Thank you all for your commitment and dedication, not just to this project, but to Fujifilm Biotechnologies as an existing industry. We appreciate your willingness to listen to the needs and opportunities as it relates to our business. Fujifilm Biotechnologies has a people-first culture, and we remain focused. We continue to make positive impacts here in our community, working with our schools and educational institutions, partnering with nonprofits, doing business with local small businesses, supporting or enhancing workforce development initiatives, or engaging in discussions where our voice and influence matters. We are committed to supporting a healthier society by providing state-of-the-art manufacturing expertise and capabilities, enabling our partners to bring life-impacting medicines to patients all over the world from right here in Brazos County. As one of your largest private employers here in Brazos County, we are proud of our positive economic impact on the region. Based on data shared by the Greater Brazos Partnership, with over 700 employees and an average wage of $64,500, our total annual direct and indirect impact is close to $400 million, and our total annual state and local government impact is over $11 million. We are working hard every day to deliver on our commitments to Brazos County and the broader region. Should our latest expansion restart, Fujifilm Biotechnologies will invest an additional $30 million in Brazos County, in excess of the $300 million previously announced, with an additional 150 employees by 2029, enhancing our existing footprint and impact here in the region. Many of you have had the opportunity to visit our site previously, and we would enjoy an opportunity to host you again. To share firsthand our work, the cutting-edge innovation, our exceptionally talented and dedicated employees, and our impact to patients near and far. We're committed to the community and the people of Brazos County. Thank you for your continued support and partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, approval of amendment number 2 for contract number 24-105R for extradition services to extend the term of the current contract until August 31st, 2025, or until we have a new contract in place.
Move for approval?
Second.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 9, approval of amendment number 9 for IQ number 25-001R for pest control services with All-Star Pest Control to include the Kent Street location.
Move for approval?
Second.
Second. Discussion?
I'd like to add that this is a local business again. Thank you.
You'd like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 10, approval of renewal of contract number 25-135R, grant writing with the Grant Lab LLC.
Move for approval?
Second.
The discussion?
That contract calls for $48,000 a year, and I don't have any problem with that, but what I'd like to know is what they've done for us lately. Have we received a grant in the last 12 months that offset this $48,000 a year?
Okay.
So,
Is Charles not here? I believe so. Or you can't, either one of y'all.
here comes Charles.
Charles.
Auditor's more familiar with the grants that are.
We have a speaker forum.
I'm sorry?
We have a speaker forum. Did you want to do that first before bringing this?
Oh. Well, I think it'll help, since he threw the question out there, it might answer the question.
Katie Connor, County Auditor. The grant writer helped us write the grant for the mental health court that is still under consideration at the state. He also helped us write the drug court grant that is still under consideration at the state. Last year, he assisted us with writing a grant for bulletproof shields and rifle-resistant body armor that we did receive.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That answers my question. Thank you.
Yeah, the value of it is we don't have to have someone on staff full-time in that.
Absolutely.
That's the benefit of that. And so we do have a citizen, Kathy, has a comment or question.
Commissioner Brown, you're in my head this morning, because I was questioning the same thing. What the efficacy or success of the grant writing programs are. That $48,000 is a full-time job, right? I mean, I guess it's good they're not a county employee per se, and so it's not a burden on the county for benefits and so forth. But so Katie mentioned mental health and drug court in process now. And last year we got bulletproof shields and body armor for $48,000 a year. I hope that you when agenda items like this come up and there's a cost to the county, that you're not just voting on whether you want it or not, but whether it's, if there's fruitfulness to it and if it's proven its cost in the past. I'd like to be assured that you all take that into consideration when you're voting on an agenda item.
Have you ever seen me not speak up about something like this?
No, and you ask a lot of the same questions that I have, and I'm really grateful because I don't have to get up and ask on every single one because I can count on you for asking for me, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I reached out to the Grant Lab as well, local company, and asked him, both awarded and funded, what the total has been since he's been working with the county, and it's $3,769,979 either awarded or funded. But he has several pending items as well that he's looking toward getting. So that was something I reached out to him and asked him to send me kind of a summary sheet.
Yeah, his contact name is Gentry Woodard. He was a lobbyist in Austin, so I've worked with him in the past on different issues having to do with the state legislature.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 11, approval of renewal of contract number 26-003 for the EAGLE program with Texas Workforce Commission for Brazos County Constable Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
No, ma'am.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 12, tax refund application for the following.
Move for approval A and B.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Item number 13, Commissioners Court minutes for the following dates.
Move for approval A through G.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved. Item number 14, budget amendments. FY 2024 through 25, budget amendments 34.01-34.03.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved. Item 15, personnel change of status.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved. Item 16, payment of claims. Approval of claims, payment of claims A820-10075-8210220. Item B, 9204-615-9204728.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Motion to approve, approve the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion is approved. So we will skip over item 17 and skip down to the remaining items. Item 18 to consider.
19.
I'm sorry, you have to come up. I apologize.
Skip to 19, please.
Skip to 19. So I'm sorry, skip to 19. Acknowledgement of monthly reports by County Auditor for March 2025. Acknowledgement of FY 24-25 budget to actual by fund as of June 4th, 2025. Acknowledgement of the FY 24-25 contingency budget to actuals by fund as of June 4th, 2025. Juvenile report. The director is out of the office, was not available today, so I will read that information. Juvenile report, juvenile director's report. Juveniles in detention, 28, males 18, females 10. There are 31 juveniles on electronic monitor. And
Hi, Sheriff.
Sheriff's report.
Good morning, Commissioners. Total today, 746, 647 males, 99 females, and 46 on monitors.
Thank you, and thank you again for coming on Saturday. You were great.
My
So-
pleasure. Thank you.
So then, and any announcements on item 23, announcements of interest items and possible future agenda topics?
I have my, my town hall tonight for
Where?
Precinct 3 at the Precinct 3 courtroom, 6 o'clock.
And that, you don't happen to have the address for those who may not know.
No, I don't have the address with me.
On George Bush
Yeah,
Drive.
it's on George
It's on
Bush
George- It's on
Drive.
George Bush Drive, right across from the golf course, kind of, sort of?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyway, and again, back to the town hall. My town hall, or the town hall in Precinct 4 is not, while I was there, and I know most of the commissioners have had commissioner-specific, I have chosen not to do that, given the uniqueness of my precinct. And so I was working very closely with Ray Arrington, who is city councilman of District 2. District 1's city councilman was also there. In addition to the sheriff, we had the district attorney, Jarvis Parsons, was there. We had Constable Hezekiah Carter, District Justice of the Peace, Darrell Booker. Our Veteran Services officer came and had a number of questions. In addition to one of the Veterans Legion, and I can't remember what that was, there was a lot of information that was provided to the citizens who attended. And I think they enjoyed the format because they got to get information that they'd not ever had before. And so I will continue to do that. I will change venues at some point because my precinct is geographically large. So I'm looking at doing something possibly out Highway 60 and possibly doing something out Highway 21 in the Smith-Tanner area. And as soon as I'm able to arrange that, I will let the community know, but I will continue to do the same format. Because I will say that the county was well represented with the sheriff, with the DA, with the JP and the constable and some of the other residents. Also, Brian, police chief, was there. And he was very informative in talking about community engagement and what he's just got appointed last fall. I can't remember the date, but it was really a good turnout, and there was grits that was had by all. Unfortunately, I didn't get to eat by the time I got a chance to eat. The grits were all gone. So otherwise, I enjoyed the format tremendously. I felt very good about the turnout, and I felt good about the questions that residents asked because I think they were well informed, and I had several folks come up to me and tell me that. So again, thank you for those who attended. Hope you'll come out again. But it will be somewhat the same format. I just choose to engage because as Commissioner Arrington, Councilman Arrington said, we have to work collaboratively together, and I have found that so much with the city overlaps what the county does. So again, thank you guys so much. And then I guess, Bruce, we will go back up to item number 17 for us to get ready to convene.
I just want to say one thing real quick.
Something?
Oh,
I'm sorry? Oh, yes.
Sorry, Fred, did I step on you? Were you going to say something else?
well, just that, I was going to say Chingalinga, I don't have near as many people coming to mind as you had as yours. It's just going to be 2 people plus myself, so.
And no grits?
And no grits,
You got fixed ribs.
Well, you got to at least have punch and cookies.
Well, yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that.
Okay,
Well, I just wanted to mention that this Saturday is Flag Day, so make sure you take the opportunity to honor our nation's flag and put it out. And then, of course, Sunday is Father's Day. Don't forget to, say hello to your father and thank them for all the things they did for you. But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope my
Also,
daughters are
the
listening to
US
that.
Army's
I'm sorry,
U.S. Army's birthday is Saturday.
whose birthday is Saturday?
The United States Army,
United States
250 years.
Okay. All right. You have anything else?
No, ma'am.
All righty, so we will go back up to item 17 to convene the executive session pursuant to the following. A, Texas Government Code 551-0725 to deliberate business and financial issues related to a contract to be negotiated, Contract A. B, Texas Code 551-0725 to deliberate business and financial issues related to a contract being negotiated, Contract B. C, Texas Code 551-074 to discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, disciplines, or dismissal of county personnel. D, Texas Code 551-074 to discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of county personnel.
And, Chairman, I have filed with the court my letter of determination that negotiating on items A and B in open forum would be detrimental to the county's best interest, and that letter's been filed with the court.
Okay, thank you.
We
And
need your unanimous approval to go into executive session on those two items.
you need a-
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion. It's been moved in second. All in favor, say
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none. All right. So for our executive session,
I'm sorry, Chairman. The timing was a little bit bad because there's a delay with Commissioner Nettles. Could you do that and give him a little more time to vote?
Okay.
I believe he voted in favor, but the timing was.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. All right, so for our executive session, for item A through C, we'll need legal, which is Allison and Bruce, Aubrey, Ed, Chief of Staff, Trevor, Nina for budget, and Leslie for risk. For item B and D, we'll need legal again, Aubrey, Ed, Nina, Julie Anderson with medical, Charles, and Sheriff Dickey or Chief Stewart. So with that, at 11:06, we will adjourn for, to have, is that how we do it, adjourn for executive session?
Very good, yeah.
6th. All in favor? We need a motion to adjourn, I guess.
Aye. What, Aubrey?
We need a motion to adjourn.
Can you state the time again? I went ahead and
Okay.
unmuted mics.
So I guess I'll change the time again?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
So
start
no
over.
action was taken in executive session, so a motion to adjourn.
At 11:47.
11:47.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?